In the last episode, we stranded on this foreign but rather peaceful island. So, let's try to get out of here and let's play The Settlers 2. Which will probably be accompanying us for quite a few Saturdays now. Also, I've left those big building spaces here open intentionally, because we are going to build big things here. Well, the barracks have been finished, and now we will actually see a soldier over here moving in, and once it has been manned, our borders will expand. If you, by the way, lose something, lose a building, all the stuff that you've built, for example, if you build here and we lose this barracks, then all of the buildings we built here will be razed to the ground. They will be destroyed, gone. There will be nothing left of them. So, yeah, keep that in mind if you build, or if you really feel like building right next to whatever is right next to the border. Okay, we want a flag here, and then we'll call, let's say, 2 geologists, because you can't control those. So you can't tell where they're going to probe. Also, there's a large plain over here, which is kind of nice to see. By the way, that's yeah, you get a notification if you occupy the military building, because that usually means your borders have expanded, and you might want to do something about that. Whether it is check the area with a geologist, or build things, or expand your border even further, or just check what you've found. Something I want to point out here is the military screen. This will tell you how many of your helpers are turned into soldiers. I've never found a point where I ran out of helpers, by the way, so I don't really know what this section is. You can also always click the help thing. Recruiting rate of your army. The higher it is, the more people are recruited into the army. As I said, this is not a big deal because let's just check the headquarters quickly. As you can see, we have moved from 40-something to 63 helpers, so you really don't run out of population. I really found that the limiting factor is like the amount of weapons and I think beer. You need beer for recruiting. I think those are limiting factors. Okay, we have found iron ore and are now able to produce weapons. There are now no obstacles of further exploration of the island. First, we must construct both an iron mine and an iron smelter. An armorer can then start to produce swords and shields. We must also provide the miners with food. Our stocks are almost exhausted. We need hunters and fishermen. Build an iron mine, an iron smelter, and an armory. What he does not tell you is that you also need coal, so we probably don't really need that right now. Well, we do need coal because it's pointless without. Also, it's often a good assumption to say that if there is one bit of iron ore here, that there will also be iron ore here in at least one of those surrounding bits. But we can build a mine and nothing else. Okay, messages. We got the fishery, we got a hunter, we got armory, we found water, we can build a smelter and an iron mine. Hooray! Fine. So, we want to build a fishery. Obviously, you want to build that near the sea. We'll probably build it over here. Fishery. There we go. I was hoping we could put a street around here, but it works too. I could build another over here, but I don't want to use up all the space I would like to have trees on. Also, just to check here, this is at 78%, which I don't know... and you can see here the quarry has reached 100% efficiency. So there's no reason to worry about that. Also, what I was about in the military bit here, this is how... I forgot what that was. Protect your huts. Alright, this is which unit will rally to meet the attackers. This is how many of them will defend and attack. So if you are attacked, all of your units will go out to meet the attackers. Only half your occupants will usually go and attack another hut or an enemy building. And this is how well your garrisons should be stocked. This is for the ones that are furthest from the border, this is for the ones that are somewhat close to the border, and this is for things that are smack onto the border. Obviously, you're more likely to need more soldiers here because, well, they are more likely to be attacked. Okay, have we found anything else nice yet? There, see what I meant about the ore. We can build an iron mine here. And I'll just start to build that. I don't mind the amount of flags over here because there will be a lot of stuff brought to this mountain. We'll also call another geologist. Okay, there's a fishery. Oh, what else do we need? We unlocked the hunter. Now, the thing with the hunter is, well, let's just say, do you see any animals here? We can disable that for a moment. There is the skull of an animal. I'm not sure how well the video shows that, but I don't think there's much food on that. There's a mushroom, which is not quite an animal, and there's a lot of trees, which are also not quite animals. You can't hunt those ducks, by the way. So, I'm not sure if there's a point in building a hunter, because there's just nothing to hunt. Although I suppose in the more unexplored regions out there, you might actually get something. But we won't build him here. That's what I'm trying to say here. I won't build the hunter there. Okay, and I think the next barracks should go here, so we get a bit more mountain as well. Can you find coal now? That'd be lovely. Also, mines can be exhausted, so mines are finite. And there is, as far as I know, no way of replenishing them. I think they slowly recover, so you can just set it to no production, which is something I can do here. So I can tell the building to not do anything here, and it will just stop to work for a moment. This can have a use. Obviously, you probably want most of your buildings to work non-stop, like the sawmill and whatever. Those should work all the time, the forester probably too, woodcutters as well, and fisheries probably as well. Oh, there's the fisher. But in some cases, for example, the well is a building that produces a lot of water, which needs to be transported somehow and somewhere, and that's... your well can actually clog up the entire transport system. I had it happen a few times. So, once that happens, you might, for example, put the well on halt, and just stop it from producing more water than you can handle. Okay, let's get a second iron mine here. Only so I can call another geologist. The building process won't commence until I actually connect those flags to each other, or to the main system. So once a building has been connected, it has been... it's basically a fact that this building needs to be built. Until then, I can just place them and just treat them as kind of a placeholder. So I could, for example, place something big here, just in case I forget about whatever I wanted to build there. Also not use any resources while it's there, so that's kind of nice. It's also interesting that you don't get more notifications about iron being found, even though there is more iron. So I suppose it's the same iron vein that is being found over and over again. And I believe that these signs here... there is also a sign that has a bit smaller deposit on it, so it's not as fully signed. And that is, I think, just a smaller deposit, and a deposit you can get less out of. We still haven't found coal, so I'm kind of worried about those mines. They're pretty much useless to us for now. We'll probably want to start getting the barracks up here. Once this mine has been finished, we'll attach the... actually, no, we'll attach it now. We will most likely not run out of wood at any given point. I mean, that is timber. We may run out of boards at some point in the future. And also, most buildings have a bit of a storage, so most of the producing buildings have some sort of storage. It's also, the output bit here is also a bit limited, because I think only like 5 to 10 items, I forgot the exact number, but there is a limit to how many things can lie on a flagpole. And yeah, once this is, there is too much stuff sitting around here, you will find that your transport system is having trouble. Well, that is the sign that your transport system is having an issue somewhere. We need more geologists. I want all of this probed. And this is a bit of a downside of the game. You don't have control over anything. You can just tell this general area. I can just point at this general direction, and things will either be there or not. And I'm hoping we'll get some coal further down the line here, or rather up the mountain. And something that was a nice addition in Settlers 3 was that you could tell your, for example, your woodcutter where to focus. So, for example, I could tell him to focus here, which would then most likely kill those trees off. I could also tell my forester to focus, for example, in this area here, which would make sense because that's where most of the radii of the two woodcutters would intersect. So this would be where they'd need most trees. Anyway, it's kind of nice, and I would have liked that here already, but who cares? So yeah, also, what I was going on about, sorry, is that you only have like an input storage here, and there is no output storage. This is basically limited by the flag, and if the flag is in fact full, the guy will carry stuff outside, and then he will go back in, and he won't do anything. So if, for example, the productivity of your sawmill drops, even though the storage here is full, that may be the case. He just doesn't get a chance to drop off his boards here. But now he's nicely keeping up on top of the wood production, though. You remember we had, I think, 2 or 3 logs when we finished building the sawmill, so he's basically still sitting on those. I mean, they're getting renewed, but I think this is kind of the limit, or the level at which his work will stay, and his stockpiles will stay, unless we build a 3rd woodcutter, of course. Okay, this iron mine is full now, and it will... Yeah, there we go, there is somebody with a fish. Miners are the only workers in the game that require food. All the others will work for nothing at all, but miners have to be fed. And you can have a variety of food. You can have meat, you can have fish, and you can have bread. There are no vitamins in the mine. You don't need that. That's hippie nonsense. Okay, you can also basically build mines on top of signs here, because those will eventually deteriorate. You can just build a mine as a placeholder there to know that there is iron there. Like this. And again, I'm not sure how this resource is counted. Ah, nice. We have ensured a fuel supply for the metalworks by finding coal in the Western Mountains. Now we can process our metal ores without any problems. Everything is going extremely well. Well, finding the stuff doesn't ensure anything for you, my friend. It just means you have it. Also, I don't want to build a well here. This would be an okay place for a well, although I would try to keep this big space here for a farm. We can build a coal mine, and we found coal, which may be linked somehow. There should be a soldier on his way now. Somewhere. Somewhere here. Ah, there he is. There are also better units. This, by the way, means that this building should not receive coins. Coins will train your units, and you probably also want to give coins to your furthermost outside, to your most remote buildings first. That's what I was going to say here. Okay, we need a coal mine. In fact, we probably need several coal mines. But this is something I want to get going first. Okay, now, I don't know if I have to build a hunter or not. I'd rather not, because it feels like a waste of resources. I think the hunter actually needs animals he can, or you can see on the map. And I currently can't see any animals besides those ducks. I'd also probably set up a countdown. So I get a geologist here. I could try to get rid of those trees here, and sometimes it's actually worth building like a temporary woodcutter just to get some, or just to free up some space for future buildings. There's a lot of space here. There's some more rocks here, which is great. We'll probably get those anyway. So there is no way to waiting for those. We'll just start harvesting them, and they will be stored in the headquarters. So there's no loss. I'll also have to see if I can get this entire game a bit quicker. We found something. Found more coal. Let's zoom there. Also, something I really like about this is you can just click on any section of the... build this. You can just click on anything. For example, I can click here. And I can make an observation window, which allows me to see this section even if I move away, like this. I can follow my my geologist here, and I think this is a really nice touch. And it would have been nice in so many other games. Would you agree? And yeah, it's just something I want to point out. It also helps you with the, I suppose, with the amount of stuff that's happening, because you probably want to, for example, have a look at, say, a certain bit of road where your transporting system has been chugging for some reason, or it can be anything really. It can be a piece of border, although I do believe you get a notification too if you get attacked. But it's just a nice idea, and I really love it. It's one of the reasons why I like this game. Also, it's a reminder of your mission. An iron mine, iron smelter, and an armory. Which again would make no sense if you don't actually have an if you don't actually have the coal mine. Okay. Obviously, you probably want to build. You keep the ways short, so you probably want to build the smelter and the armory in this general area here. So the resources don't have to be hauled all the way back here and then here all the time. Although you could go with placing things here as well, because, and here's my reason, because the finished product has to be transported to the headquarters anyway. So if we built obviously we'd still want to start with the smelter here, so we'd place that near the mines and then go basically down here to the headquarters as things are progressively produced. So that's just worth a thought there. Okay, so if you put this, you can make an iron smelter here. I was considering to build a farm there, but who cares? And then we can build the armory here. This, by the way, means that this needs to be leveled first, so the area is uneven, so we'll have the shoveling guys coming for it first. How much food do we have? I don't think the... Oh, wow, we said bread and meat. I don't know where that came from. Probably from the tortillas. The tortillas. I missed that ship, even though I've never been on it. Okay. Should probably also find water for a well nearby. So could we get a geologist over here? I also think it's about time to break up the episode again, so I'll see you next time. Bye!